Welcome to Pemberley Farm. So what are we doing here today? Well, we're about to can sausage, ground sausage. I've got several pounds of it here. These are 2-pound packages, and I get them from the local market. Any of you locals, this came from Stone's, and you know that it's wonderful because he has good stuff. But anyway, and so we're going to can it. Now this ground sausage, a lot of ground sausage is real fatty, but Stone's is not so fatty, and we're going to par-cook it just a little bit before we pack it into our jars. And I'm putting it in half-pint jars. And the reason I do this is my husband and I like to have sausage and eggs, you know, and so you would crumble the sausage and cook it and then put the eggs, scramble some eggs and put it on top of that. And we like to have sausage and eggs. And so a half-pint is plenty for us. And so that's why I'm putting it in a half-pint. Okay, we've got it, 3 of them out of their wrappers and into the pan, and I'll keep stirring and doing until it cooks down just a little bit. I don't want to get it fully done before we put it in our jars. Now, your question may be this: why would you just not take sausage out of the refrigerator and use it fresh out of the refrigerator? Why would you need to can it? Well, for one thing, we don't eat a whole lot of sausage at one time. So even a pound might tend to go bad on us before we would eat a pound for just the 2 of us. So this way, these little half-pint jars is just enough for us to be able to get a jar of sausage and have what we want. And if we don't want it again for a month, I don't have to worry about that sausage going to waste. And I don't have to worry about the freezer room either, because it's garden season and we've got lots of peas and okra and corn and all of that. And so freezer room at this point is very much at a premium. So canning it is a way to keep it shelf stable and available whenever we want it. Okay, we're about finished. I realize there's still some pink in it as on the, I don't know once it's in video form on the internet how it'll look. It looks pinker in the viewfinder here than it does actually in real life. So there's still some pink in it, but it's not as pink as it looks on the screen here. But anyway, so that's all I'm going to do, because like I said, it is not a terribly fatty sausage, and we don't want it to get we don't want to cook all the juice out of it. We want it to create its own juice in the jar. All right, so I'm putting into the jar and I'm mashing down, trying to pack the jar. I hope you can see this okay. Let me double check, because I'm doing solo today. Usually Ashley is here, and when I'm doing stuff like this, Ashley's the one on the camera making sure everything is correct and in sight. May have to take some out of that. It's a little full. Leave 1 inch of headspace in this. This isn't necessarily a how-to video. It's just showing you what we're doing. And like I said, we love this this butcher's sausage. My husband doesn't like sausage that has a lot of gristle in it. And you know, most of the time you buy it from the grocery store, and that's what you get, is a lot of gristle. And Stone's does not have that. And if you don't live in the area where you can go to Stone's, I feel sorry for you. But anyway, so that's why we get it from there. And he doesn't always have it. He stays very busy. And a lot of times he sells out of things before I can even get up there to get it. So anyway, okay. And of course, while I was doing this, my card ran out of room, and so I had to stop and put a new card in. But while I was doing that, I went ahead and filled all my jars. And now what I'm going to do is put my lids and rings on. But first, I'm going to use vinegar to clean the rims, because there is grease on this, and that will help cut the grease and clean the rims of the jars. And then I'm going to put them in my canner. I'm using a All-American 915 today, and it's my smaller one, which I really love. I'm not an associate or anything, affiliate of All-American canners, but if you can get one, they're great. I love mine. I have 2. So anyway, but I'm just going to clean the rims. And I'm going to really do a good job of this. I'm not going to just keep doing each, you know, I see some people wipe every rim of every jar with the same piece of area of their rag, and I don't do that, especially on something that's greasy like this. So I do it in a different area, and then when I have covered all the areas that I'm in, then I turn it inside out or over or whatever and do it some more, because you don't want to get you don't want that grease underneath. Alright, so I'm going to turn this over now and use the other side. So anyway, it's a simple process really. Just par cook it. It's not done by any means. And so par cook it and put it in here. Now, if it was really extra lean, you wouldn't even par cook it. You would just truly pack it in. And by packing it, what you're doing is debubbling. I know that, you know, with veggies and stuff, you're used to debubbling, but with meat, you just pack it in, and it's basically the same thing as debubbling. And you saw I was using a spatula to really pack it in there. Okay, so here we have 13 jars in our canner, and I'm going to the 13 half pints. And as far as how much water you put in your canner, it depends on your canner. There's about 3 inches in here. That's, you know, generally the rule of thumb, but you need to check your own canner and see what it says in your book that goes with your canner, whatever kind of canner you have. So I'm going to put the lid on the canner. I'm going to turn the heat up some. The water was warm because the sausage was warm. It wasn't hot, so I didn't let the canner water get too hot. I just had it about the same temperature as the sausage. So I'm going to put the lid on it, let it come up to steam, and when it steams, when the vent steams for 10 minutes, then I'm going to put the weight on 10 pounds for 75 minutes. Even though this is half pints, it still does the same amount of time as a pint, which is 75 minutes for meat. Okay, the timer just went off. This has been going for 10 minutes. I think you can see the steam there. I tried to do it so that you could see it against the black handle. But anyway, about to put the weight on it, and when it comes up to its proper pressure, I will start the timer for 75 minutes. Alright, 13 half pints of ground sausage. That's a little over one a week, if that's what we chose for breakfast. Yummy breakfasts. And see how it's got its own juice in there because it was not cooked done. Alright, thank you for being with us on my first solo attempt at actually doing the hands-on and the filming all by myself. I may never let Ashley leave again, haha. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into what we were doing today. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we are on Facebook as Pemberley Farm. Check us out there. And make sure to like, subscribe, and share. God bless you from Pemberley Farm.